Welcome back, guys, to Triangle Strategy, where last episode, after a new character joined in the form of the barkeep Hossabala, the horseback healer, we witnessed Huet asking Eridor a question regarding snowbells Benedict was after, before finding out what Silvio Telliore's decision was, as the Lord proposed an alliance of the three high houses, asking us to join him in his domain if we accept. With a vote now awaiting, we headed into the town to search for information and mull things over, as we soon return to the scales to make our decision.
Can't be paralyzed by indecision. Our hopes were spared thanks to you, Lord Serenoa. Townspeople send their heartfelt gratitude. But it was a hard-won battle. Both the soldiers and the townspeople have seen better days. My people are suffering after a battle on our own soil. I doubt we would be able to face another attack from Aesfrost alone. You know about House Wolfort's weakness? I don't believe in that. Okay, my main soldiers might be a bit more weakened. But the main group showed themselves able to deal with the threats. Repelling the duchy came at no small cost, with its people and soldiers both run ragged. House Wolfort may no longer be able to stave off any further threats to their domain. The current state of affairs puts the very existence of their house in jeopardy. So the thing is, even with the choices I've made so far, like with certain things, I've very much seen the other point and what makes sense about it. Some of the choices I'm making are very much the game side of things, of course. Probably will remain to be what sounds as a more fun game thing. But I can completely see, like, for example, giving up Roland as a valid option. I'm not going to. Say I'm disappointed in Lord Silvio would be an understatement. He safeguarded himself in Telliore as Gustadolf invaded the crown city. Some say it was his duty as lord to stay and protect his people and domain, but what of his duty to the crown? I suppose we shouldn't be looking to Lord Silvio for any semblance of loyalty. Yeah, this is the thing. It's just like everyone's saying it's not even a remotely open thing. That he's going to do a thing. I think we already had this, did we? Or no, didn't say new. Lord Silvio of House Telliore did nothing but sequester himself in his domain when he learned of Aesfrost's attack on Glenbrook. His tenuous loyalty to the crown have earned him infamy as an opportunist. No love is lost for him even among his own people. Yes, I feel... I get it, game. I understand he's about to do something opportunistic. You'll literally see me as soon as I saw the offer in the window, like going, bullcrap, because he's going to do a thing. He's going to do a thing. Silvio was the Lord of House Telliore, but I don't really care much for the man, to tell the truth. He has some nerve coming around here in such fancy robes while we break our backs repairing the town. Actually, why don't you put, like, guys who are watching live on the Twitch, why don't you put, like, a poll and see where, like, the chat would choose out of these two decisions? Because this would be interesting to see where, like, the chat lies on these as well, not just my own belief. About, like, what I should do, reject or accept. I've got to say, I'm heavily leaning towards reject on the basis that I want to see what happens when I throw a fox amongst the hens. I'm pretty sure accepting will just take me over to his place, and then it'll be like, I betray you. And then we're like, oh, okay, now we're in the midst of everything. Lord Serenoa, you drove out the Aesfrosti forces with such splendor. I expected no less of House Wolfort. Have you heard of how the other houses are faring? To tell the truth, my family lives in the Telliore domain. They say that Lord Silvio was not a man in the military arts and fear what should happen were Aesfrost to invade. House Telliore is wealthy and well connected. I doubt they would be so easily crushed by the duchy. I mean, this is the problem with all these statements as well. Pretty much all of them are true, aren't they? Yes, because they're working things behind. They're working things behind the scenes. They won't fall. That's why he's hedging his bets. For better or worse, Lord Silvio was unchanging. I could stand to learn something from his ever-composed example. I mean, that's true. If worse comes to worse, your family is always welcome in Wolfort, but Lord Silvio leads one of the three high houses and would do whatever it took to protect his domain. That's also true. Every option here is true. I mean, okay, I think option one is less true. On the basis of they won't be crushed militarily, but they're going to be crushed, like, by a choice, right? They're just going to give in. So they're crushed in a different way. Morally? I don't know. For better or worse, Lord Silvio was unchanging. I could learn to... I mean, I'm like... Option 2. It's like a weird compliment, but it's also kind of backhand. You get it? It's just like a backhanded compliment. The thing is that no matter what, as a lord of his house, he is willing to do anything to protect his power, which inadvertently protects his people. Correct? It's pretty much how it works here. So as a lord, this example is actually a pretty good one. But, like, that doesn't make him a good person. For better or worse. Is that so? This is the first praiseworthy thing I've heard of the man. Yeah, but it's not. It's not. In any case, I take solace in knowing that they are safe, for now at least. But it's not praise. It's real backhanded. It's like saying we all know he's snide, but he does his job pretty well. I mean, if I choose to reject, which I'm really heavily leaning towards at the moment, it doesn't look good for him. That will screw with him quite a bit. It's going to mess that guy up. There doesn't seem to be anything else out here. We got some new information at the very least. Where does the poll currently sit at? Accept 3, reject 12. Of those who have voted thus far. Let's see what you guys are on about then.
Lord Serenoa.
Our soldiers are exhausted after our last battle of Aesfrost. I know we need all the help we can get, but even so, I cannot find it in me to trust House Telliore. So, wait, which side are you on? Okay, you reject. May take effort, but they can be swayed.
What do you need?
I hear that the Telliore Demesne is known for its wine, not warriors. It makes me wonder if it is truly necessary for us to join forces at a time like this. So you're in reject as well. So this side's reject. That side is join. Mine is Benedict. But yeah. It's weird how they sit though so separately. I feel like we should push these tables together. I feel like this, like promotes division weirdly. Did you get me on that? I would have no qualms if Lord Silvio were a man of upstanding character, but the rumours I hear only speak to the contrary. Do you truly think allying ourselves with House Telliore would stop the spread of the war? Frederica, have I voted with you every single time? Am I just, like... Do I have a personality outside of you? It makes me wonder if it would only be pouring oil on the fire. Maybe that's why Benedict's gone undecided, because he's like, I can't choose. Right. I'm thinking we'll throw the fox among the hens, and plus everyone seems to be voting that way as well. So the mainstay of group here believes in me. Oh, no. No, do not commence voting. I have not yet begun. So what are we doing then? Sir Roland.
Serenoa.
Say I have no doubts about Lord Silvio would be a lie. Even so, we are in sore need of allies. If the three high houses stand together, we may be able to turn the tides of war in our favour. It would be best for us to refuse Lord Silvio's proposal. This one should just listen to reason without any issue. I believe his offer to be one worth considering, but if you have any reservations on the matter, I would hear them. Lord Silvio is a man loyal only to himself and one of unfavourable repute with his people. I advise you not to put too much faith in him. Claiming victory in our last battle was no easy feat, and our soldiers have suffered for it. Must we consider taking the field again so soon? There are people out there who will stop at nothing to see you dead. I think it unwise to leave the domain at this time. I mean, 2 and 3 is what I'd say. But should we just... Surely Roland knows of Lord Silvio, considering he is a royal ling. He's a royaling. Trust me, friend. I know Lord Silvio to be unworthy of our faith. He cowered in Telliore as the Aesfrosti army laid siege to Whiteholm Castle. But to think even the people distrust him, it proves to me that our judgment was correct.
Moreover,
I care not for whatever Lord Silvio may or may not be plotting. If he intends to use us, I say we use him in kind. Runner's deep in fort. I don't know if that was good. That was remotely successful. Alright, I guess we try with our actual switch vote. Everyone else has suspicions over Lord Silvio's offer, but I think we can guess his true intentions easily enough. Yes, we can. Whatever House Telliore's aim might be, I'm certain we can use it to our advantage. I think it would be best for us, so he leans more heavily to refusing. In the first place? Yes, he does. So he does actually have a feeling on it. Is there something on your mind, my lord? If you have any doubts or concerns, pray let them be known. A bounty on the prince. The duchy has placed a heavy bounty upon Roland's head. Perhaps what Lord Silvio came here for is not in the lines, but... House Telliore is not known for their prowess in battle. Would there be any merit in allying ourselves with them? And we never know when the Aesfrost army will strike next. Is it truly safe to leave our domain at a time like this? I mean, we know our domain is a defendable position. Also, we'd be putting our hand... Yeah. So, I feel like Benedict is a pragmatist. So we've got to appeal to that. I don't actually think he'd care about this one. I mean, that's just a known thing. That's not convincing him. Benedict already knows something's up. We never know when the Aesfrost army strike next. It's truly safe to leave our domain. They're both the same thing, aren't they? More or less. I think I'll choose to stay in our defensible terrain when the enemy doesn't even know that we have a special trap that can wipe them out. I cannot deny the possibility of being seen by enemy scouts while we're on the move. And there is a chance that House Telliore has already bent the knee to Aesfrost. You are right to be cautious, my lord. Perhaps it is best we decline the offer after all. However, we cannot ignore the fact that the strength of our forces pales in comparison to that of Aesfrost.
So,
are you not concerned about the size of our own army, Lord Sereno? Can't we just join up with, like, house folks who actually have an army? Even if I were, I doubt House Telliore could be of much help there. It's true. Perhaps the people would respond to a call to arms? And I think it best we ready our own forces before recklessly looking to others for help. All three of these are crap. I don't really see a difference between any of them. I mean, there's rallying the people, but equally, they're not trained military forces versus a trained Aesfrostian army. Plus, the amount of people that we have might be a bit small anyway. Plus, I'd have thought we'd already be doing that to a certain degree. It was 14 for rejected. 82% voted reject. I'm trying to make it happen. I think it best we ready our own force before recklessly looking at others for help. I so wish there was an option to mention House Folks here, because they're just the ones we need to join up with if they've got an army that can actually fight. They've obviously held their domain already. Don't know if their domain's been attacked. I could go for the extra option. Even if I were adapt, House Telliore could be of much help there. The size of one's forces is an important factor in war, my lord, and it is true that House Telliore does not have many soldiers at its disposal. But neither do we. As such, we shouldn't be so hasty in turning away any numbers we can get. Oh, good job, Sam! That was rubbish. Yeah, but our forces are like special ops. That's why we got small. My houses are sworn to protect the crown, yet Lord Silvio couldn't be bothered to leave Telliore when the capital was in danger.
That's what I think.
Can't help but wonder what he's scheming, but if he wants to join forces, I see no reason to refuse him. Negotiating may yet prove fruitful. I say we join forces with House Telliore. The more of us, the better. But I can see you don't quite agree, lad. Aesfrost is no doubt watching our every move. Leaving our domain may alert them to an alliance and put us in even more danger. Time's of the essence right now. General of Law is likely desperate to reclaim her honor with a rematch sooner or later. Heavy bounty weighs upon Roland's head. We don't know who we can or cannot trust right now. I actually really have to think about everything I say, don't I? Because it might just mess things up and I might not be able to go the route I want to go. Makes it take way longer than it should do. What would matter to Elidor? I mean, he wanted to defend Roland massively. So I'm wondering if we can just use Roland on, you know, as a word for that. Equally... So I don't think like 1 really matters too much for him. It's either 2 or 3. I'm going to say about Roland on the basis of like he was like with super duty to the king or prince.
You're onto something.
No denying that, lad. There's no telling what sort of shady fellows are looking to line their pockets to the prince's demise. Even if we could trust Lord Silvio, there's no guarantee his soldiers wouldn't try to get their hands on his highness. In fact, this is just what Aesfrost might have been hoping for with that bounty.
Tough spot.
In any case, my lord, it looks like you've got something else on your mind. Could it be you've got some suspicions of Lord Silvio? And we made it to a second one. Ooh, I like option 1. Lord Silvio left the safety of his own domain to come here. Something I doubt he would do if he feared an attack from the duchy. That's really cool. That's a good point. If he was truly worried for Roland's safety, I think he would suggest fortifying ourselves in Castle Wolffort rather than venturing to Telliore. Yes! Oh, these are good ones! These all make sense. Lord Silvio did not leave Telliore even when the capital was taken, which makes me wonder why he would leave his safe haven now. Yeah. They're all good. Oh my god! I have no way of deciding between the 3. Essentially, 3 is 1, 2. That's just wording it differently. I know the ones I unlock are not always the best response. We've learnt that, don't worry. Don't have to tell me 15 times. Equally, I don't know which one ever is. Is truly worried for Roland's safety? I think he would suggest 4 must. See, I don't really like that one too much. I'm going to go with number 1. Lord Silvio left the safety of his own domain to come here, something I doubt he would do if he feared an attack from the duchy. A fair point. No matter how quietly they snuck about, there's still a chance they'd be seen by Aesfrost. And there's no way a coward like Lord Silvio would take such a risk. You've got good cause for concern, lad. He's been moved by my words. But yeah, option 1 and 3 just seem the same.
Yes, sir.
Must be prepared for any who would march against us, but our forces are lacking in both number and supplies. House Telliore's motives matter not. We could even use those against them should the need arise. I feel like I might have got Eridor on my side. This one should listen to reason. Also, Noah, I believe we must use every tool available to us if we are to survive. We needn't rely on others just yet. If we were to be attacked, we could make our stand at Castle Wolffort. This one's a bit more thingy. Instantly, the one that catches my eyes, we would leave ourselves vulnerable by venturing outside our domain, is better than number 2. Versus we didn't really rely on others, because that's kind of what she's saying is we need more troops. So it feels like that would be against what she was saying in the first place. I'd say 2 at the moment. We would leave ourselves vulnerable by venturing outside our domain. We don't know why Aesfrost invaded Glenbrook. I think it best we be cautious and not rush headlong into an alliance. I'd go for 2. Quite true. We were met by the Aesfrosti forces outside the castle. We could neither drive them back nor retreat.
In that case...
Even so, I do not think we could stay holed up in Castle Wolffort forever. No, we can't. Anna is deep in thought. But she only got 1 prompt. Okay, then. That's all we're convincing. Let's see how the vote. Let's see if I went with the people not only here, but with you guys. That's a lot of thinking.
It is time to cast our votes.
So much thinking.
Do we accept House Telliore's proposal, or go our own way? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
Everyone thinks he's going to betray us anyway.
I believe in you.
I believe you're right, my friend. Oh, we swayed Roland.
You make a convincing argument.
I cast my token with yours, my lord. Benedict was with us. Okay, I think we've definitely got the vote. We already knew what you were going for. And Gila. That's 4 already, so we've already won. Unless someone flips votes.
You have my vote.
I put my faith in your plan, Lord Serena. We got Anna too. Chouette was with us. Eridor?
You won me over.
Wow! Did I get everyone? Did I do good persuading
Scales
this time?
of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
I feel like I messed up the last vote. But I got all of them this time.
The way forward is decided. We deny House Telliore's proposal and weather this fight alone.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that.
Are you mad? You would stand idly by while our kingdom is in grave danger.
This is the path we have chosen. I hope you understand.
I do not. You must reconsider. Or else House Telliore too will face Aesfrost's wrath.
And why would that be our concern? We are in no condition to fight, Lord Silvio. It is as simple as that.
Then I pray something more than death awaits us both.
He made a deal, and we've just completely screwed him, haven't we? He'd already made the deal. And our choice just basically killed his gamble. And probably him too, right? Yeah, we definitely need to, like, talk to house folks. For goodness sake, I'm so surprised we haven't already. It's unreal. Right, that took like an hour to make a decision, didn't it?
Lord Silvio of Telliore offers the solitary House Wolffort an ally, and a place of protection for Roland. But Serenoa chooses to walk his own path, even if he must do so alone. Silvio leaves with a disquieting look in his eyes.
Chapter 8, Part 2. Parting Ways. Just did, yes.
No! Spare me! I beg you!
That's enough, Rufus.
You call these men soldiers, Silvio? They haven't got any spine.
Save your anger for House Wolffort. We will strike at their castle soon enough.
Ha! Sounds like they saw straight through your stupid plan.
What could a lowly bounty hunter know of a lord's struggles? Without Roland, my house is doomed. They call you Hero's Bane, right? That is all you need do.
And do it I shall. The only one you need alive is the prince, right?
Well, that's the confirmation. It's not like we didn't already know. It's not like we didn't already know he was going to straight up betray us. Let's face it. Stupidly obvious. Wait, the bandits Travis and Trish discuss rumors of a hefty bounty on a certain someone's head? Oh my god, everyone wants the bounty. The bounty hunters are everywhere.
I don't know what to expect now that Aesfrost's taken over Glenbrook.
I heard they put a huge bounty on the prince's head. We could make a killing if we catch him.
I always dreamed of kidnapping royalty. But the prince of a crumbling kingdom?
They'd probably kill him if we turn him over.
The reward is tempting, though.
The reward is tempting, though.
Just join me. I'm cool. I treated you so affably the first time we met you. Should we hit up a character story before we find out what's going to happen next to us? And also find out what's happening with Gustadolf? Who's next? Eredor invites Colinton to take a break from all his research. Eredor does everything, basically.
Working hard again today, I see. How fares the research?
It progresses, and shall continue to do so, provided you remain out of my way.
Never one to mince words, are you? What is it you're researching exactly?
Your questioning remains distressingly inefficient. As I explained just yesterday, I am exploring something truly groundbreaking.
And I'm asking you precisely how and why it's groundbreaking.
That would entail a thorough explanation of surface melting on ice crystals, one even you could understand. From there, I would have to explain how the quasi-liquid film on said crystal can then be thermodynamically stabilized.
All right, you win. I'm sorry I asked. But I can tell by your attitude all this work isn't good for you. You should join me for a swig of wine.
I'd rather not.
And why not?
Research has shown that wine inhibits the brain's higher functions.
Fewer words, more wine. A glass might shake a brilliant new idea out of that massive head of yours.
But my precious research! All I desire is to carry out my research without interruption. Are you listening, Eredor? My research on my terms. Why can they not grant me this one thing?
Yeah, well...
This cannot stand, Eredor. You hold me out here, yet you haven't so much as haven't touched your glass.
Oh, so you're an angry drunkard, are you? Lovely.
Me? A drunkard? Balderdash. It's the damn ministry. All their restrictions and secrecy. How are we to move forward if we can't share our techniques? Am I wrong?
You're damned right. As always, of course, about everything.
Sin on all that knowledge and skills is... It's not good. Worse than me locking myself up here.
Glorious silence. Thought the poor fool would never shut up. Right then. Off to bed with you.
Now, Corentin has let us know how he really feels. Meanwhile, Gustadolf.
I beg you, sir, give me one more chance. I shall not fail again.
We are already taking measures against House Wolfort. A suitable pawn has showed itself before us. Though, perhaps, I should be more wary of my own family than any other.
Huh?
Falks is all that remains of the 3 high houses. I trust you know what to do, Avlora.
Lord Landroy Fox is famed for his bow arm.
He had the pluck to fire at your master during the war. Do you think you can best him?
Without a doubt.
That was short. Not so sweet when you think about it. What's going on at House Wolfort then? Castle Wolfort. Tensions grow as Anna brings news to Serenoa, shedding new light on their situation. Yeah, you know that choice we made? We're now under attack. We were trying to rest our army, but we're under attack again. Who'd have thought that that would happen no matter what?